Listening tape script, Form C. You will be tested on your ability to understand spoken English. There are 3 sections, each with its own directions. If you wish, you may take notes. Part 1. Instructions. You will hear short dialogues between 2 people, after which a question will be asked. You will hear each dialogue only once. After hearing the dialogue and question, select from the 4 choices that which best answers the question. Question 1.
Do you see how Fred is with Jenny?
It's so pathetic, the way she can wrap him around her little finger.
What does the man mean? Question 2.
Could you fill out this form and attach your resume and photo? We'll contact you once an opening comes up.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Who are the 2 speakers? Question 3.
Wow, is that Britney Spears' picture and her autograph? So cool. Did you really meet her?
In the flesh.
What does the man mean? Question 4.
I'm tired of convincing the people at work to see things my way.
Why don't you just go with the flow?
What does the woman suggest that the man do? Question 5.
Stephen did a horrible job on the proposal. I think I'll have to have a word with him.
Be careful what you say. He has a sharp tongue.
What does the woman imply about Stephen? Question 6.
And on your right is Mount Fuji, the highest mountain in Japan. We should arrive in an hour. You'll be able to take pictures and buy some souvenirs at the shop there.
Wonderful.
What is the man's occupation? Question 7.
The Living Dead on campus is now showing. I'd really love to see it.
Isn't the physics assignment due tomorrow?
What does the woman imply? Question 8.
Pete has asked me to tell you that he will not be able to come today. He hasn't been feeling well lately and he thought it might be something to do with his allergies or maybe it's to do with his immune system or something, so...
Come again?
What does the man ask the woman to do? Question 9.
This negotiation has been going on for ages.
And it will continue to go on until they found a common ground. I just hope it's in my lifetime.
When will the negotiation end? Question 10.
What do you think of Richard?
He's a weak link in the chain.
How would the man describe Richard? Question 11.
What do you do in your free time?
I surf the internet, play football, and hang out with my buddies from high school.
What does the man not do in his free time? Question 12.
You can't get that cabinet downstairs like that. Do you think you're Superwoman or something? Why don't you dismantle it first?
Do I look like I need advice?
What does the woman want the man to do? Question 13.
Oh, what's that smell? Probably a dead rat in a ventilation shaft. It's almost like your perfume.
Ah, very funny. It's probably the food you left in the office over the weekend. I'll get the air freshener.
What does the man think the smell is? Question 14.
How do your wife and your parents get along?
Like a house on fire.
What does the man mean? Question 15.
Would you mind letting me borrow your tape recorder for an evening?
By all means.
What does the woman mean? Part 2. In this section you will hear longer dialogues between two people. After each dialogue, questions will be asked. You will hear each dialogue only once. After hearing the dialogue and each question, select from the 4 choices that which best answers the question. Conversation 1.
Hey Jen, how did it go at the publishers?
Well, it's the same old story. They say my story is very interesting and informative, but it won't sell.
So, what are you going to do now?
Maybe writing is not my calling. I should probably find a job as an interpreter or maybe a tour guide.
Oh, come on. Don't get discouraged so soon. I have an idea. I read the other day how people can make use of the internet. Some woman wrote a thriller that was rejected by several publishers. So she got this idea that she would make her book available for free online on her own website. You can do the same.
Yeah, so people get to read her book for free. So what? What's in it for her financially?
I was getting there. So when lots of people read her story and liked it, a publishing house contacted her and offered to publish her book. Over 40,000 copies have been sold since then.
Now you're talking.
Question 16. What is the woman's problem? Question 17. What does the man suggest that she do? Question 18. How does the woman feel at the end? Conversation 2.
Hey, Mike, do you know that Ed's going to leave us soon?
No? Where's he going?
I don't know. Yesterday, the boss called him into his office and they were in there for half an hour.
You mean the boss fired him?
I guess. He didn't say anything, but his eyes and face looked kind of red. Poor Ed. He has to take care of everyone in his family. He's the only breadwinner.
Do you know why he was sacked?
I heard a rumour that the boss wasn't very happy with his performance. He was late for work all the time, did not take care of the customers, not to mention that he kept falling out with people.
Oh boy. I kind of sympathise with him. I know he's not exactly an exemplary employee, but still...
Well, I'll go and see him. There must be something I can do.
Question 19. Who is Ed? Question 20. What happened to Ed? Question 21. What are the speaker's opinions? Conversation 3.
Melissa, there's dog hair on the sofa.
Of course there is.
I've got it all over my clothes. Ugh, disgusting.
You'd better stay off the sofa then.
I don't understand how you can live like this. There's dog hair everywhere. It can't be hygienic. You'll develop allergies. Don't tell me you let the dog sleep on your bed too.
As a matter of fact, I do sleep with Fluffy. And although to you she's a dog, to me she's an adopted daughter who is short, hairy, walks on all fours and doesn't speak clearly.
An adopted daughter? Maybe it's time you and Steve started thinking of having your own children.
Who needs kids? Dogs eat less, don't ask for money all the time, are easier to train, usually come when called, never drive your car, don't hang out with drug-using friends, don't smoke or drink, and if they get pregnant, you can sell the pups.
I know you love your dog, but you've got to do something with this place. I can't imagine living here.
Well, don't. The bottom line is that Fluffy lives here. You don't.
Question 22. What is the man unhappy about? Question 23. The woman compares dogs to kids in terms of the following, except... Question 24. What is the woman probably going to do next? Part 3. You will now hear 2 short talks. After each talk, you will be asked some questions. You will hear each talk only once. After hearing the talk and each question, select from the 4 choices that which best answers the question. Talk 1.
In a situation like this, where a cyclone has devastated a poor area, and you've got to remember that this is India's second poorest state, the procedure is always the same. What the Red Cross will do is to proceed in 3 stages. Now, tens of thousands of people have been evacuated, and the first stage is basic medical needs, and those we've already supplied. Then the second stage is basic necessities. That is to say, food, water, and medication. And of course, some form of shelter, which is often tents. So that's the second stage, and here we need help very urgently. The final stage, then, is rehabilitation. But I think that's still some way off. So, we're launching an appeal. There's going to be a Red Cross appeal. We are looking for something in the region of £3 million. That's the minimum, I think. £3 million to help specifically with the second stage, providing basic necessities.
Question 25. What kind of tragedy is mentioned? Question 26. Which of the following is not what people need? Question 27. What is the tone of the talk? Talk 2.
If you think that any treatment is justified if your pet gets very sick, you should consider pet insurance. In Sweden, 17% of the population have pet insurance, and in the UK it's 5%. Here in the US, only 1% have so far opted for it. The way it works is basically the same as human insurance. For example, you pay $20 to $40 for each accident or illness, and after that, every policy is going to cover 80% of the first $180 and more or less all of the remaining bill for any given treatment. But of course, the coverage may be limited. It depends on the plan. That's why it's very, very important that you read the policy carefully. As with human insurance, pre-existing conditions are not covered. What illnesses your animal already has, you can't get insurance for. Apart from that, you've got to be careful about what the policy does not cover. If you want to be sure that the insurance company is sound, then you can contact the Consumer Affairs Agency in your state and check whether the company has a license. You can still find good deals, which is another reason to read all policies carefully. One company, for example, gives you a 50% discount on vaccinations and routine examinations, which is very good. Normally, routine care isn't covered at all. So, look around for the best and soundest deal.
Question 28. What is the talk about? Question 29. What is the purpose of the talk? Question 30. In which country does the talk take place? End of the listening test.